Search It Up with Sienna Spotlight. It's a little bit different than the main Search It Up with Sienna series because the discussions and interviews I will be having are shorter and much more random. But we're still going to be talking about really cool things related to TV, movies, books, pop culture, and restaurants. I am so excited for today's episode because I'm going to be speaking with Nizam Ali from the historic and amazing restaurant Ben's Chili Bowl in Washington, D.C. Ben's Chili Bowl opened in 1958 by Ben and Virginia Ali. I talk all about the history, notable guests, and so much more in my interview with Nizam. And now, without further ado, here's my interview with Nizam Ali. So what is the Chili Bowl and how did you start?
Wow. So the Chili Bowl was just this dream of my mom and dad. So way back, this is in the 50s, my mom and dad met just a block down the street. There's one of the oldest African-American banks is there called Industrial Bank. And my mom was a teller there and my dad used to bank there. And he just thought this beautiful woman was there and they kind of met a little bit and ended up dating and ended up getting married, and they opened the restaurant up in August of 1958 and they got married in October 1958, and it was their dream.
Wow, yeah. And why chili? Like, out of anything they could have chosen, why did you think they picked chili?
You know what? So my dad is from Trinidad and Tobago. So he grew up in Trinidad and he grew up with all these wonderful spices. So one of his famous quotes was when he came to America, he didn't like the food very much and thought the food was very bland. So he wanted to add some spice to America. So you're taking a hot dog or a sausage, these half smokes that we have, or burgers, and he puts his special chili sauce on it, his secret recipe, and that makes it spicy and delicious.
Ooh. And growing up, what was your experience with the restaurant? Did you spend a lot of time there? Did you start working at it at a young age?
I did. So it's kind of typical, I guess, of many family businesses. And you'll hear noise in the background because we're a working restaurant, and I just finished. I'm in the middle of making 5 pots of chili in the back, so we actually do the work here ourselves. So wow, yeah, I did start growing up here just after schools. After school, with my mom had to come down, she would bring me here after school, and she had to finish up her work. And on weekends, and then it became nights. Is when I was tall enough to wipe off the tables, they threw me a rag and a little bottle and told me to get at it and showed me how to do that. And then I got to move up to bathrooms, which was really exciting. And then I got to move up to fries, and then it just kind of keeps going, like you just learn more and more and more. And I grew up here.
And because you mentioned that your dad had like a recipe, like he would add a little spice and it was like his secret recipe. Does he have like a recipe book?
No recipe book. It was all up here with my dad.
Wow.
So yeah, so he taught us how to make the ingredients. So what we do is only myself and my 2 brothers, we had these paper bags, and we put all of the dry spices in the paper bags in the right proportions, and we leave it on the shelf. And then only 1 or 2 of the employees can take it from that bag and make a full pot of chili sauce. So we still keep it secret in the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And one of the things I loved about the turkey chili and the rest of the chilies, they were so good. But my favorite thing about the turkey chili was that I like spice, but sometimes I don't like too much spice.
Yeah.
So the thing about the turkey chili I really liked was there was like some spice in it, but not like an overpowering spice, at least for me. That was like one of my favorite things about the chili that I liked.
So, my sister-in-law, Sonia, is going to just love you and love this because the turkey chili was her baby. It's her recipe, and she does not like spicy food. And she's like, look, the chili con carne is so spicy, and the chili sauce is spicy, and even the vegetarian spice is too spicy for me. So she created the turkey chili, and she made it totally mild so that everyone can enjoy some chili on their sandwich or in a bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And can you talk about the history of the restaurant a little bit? I know you talked a little bit about how your mom and dad, but how they started a little bit more.
Sure. So we're in a really historic building. Do you mind if I show you a little bit?
Sure.
All right. So we're in this. So this is, let's see, I'm sure you have pictures because I've seen your production, and your production is great. So this is a photograph, or I guess a art piece of kind of the front of the chili bowl, the way it looks kind of today. And then if you look up here, if you can see all the way up here,
Uh-huh.
That is actually, this building that we're in, what used to be called the Minnehaha Theater. And it was one of the first African American silent movie theaters in the whole country.
Wow.
So if you take a look at that picture, and then you go over here and look at this picture up there on the wall, you can see the same archway and the same architecture. It's the
Yeah.
same building. So it was a silent movie house first for, I don't know, I think it started in 1910, believe it or not. So the building's like 110 years old. And then a retired police detective turned it into a pool hall. So after it was a theater, it was with pool tables and other things. And then when that kind of went out of business, my dad found this property and thought that this would be a great place for his restaurant. And that's when they opened up the Chili Bowl in 1958. And they used all their savings. They ended up getting a loan, and they put all their money in and did not know if it was going to work or not. It was a big risk. But we're here on U Street, and U Street is a really vibrant street with wonderful history. The area actually used to be called Black Broadway. So I know that you and your fans are everyone knows about Broadway in New York, but this was Broadway for African Americans in the entire country. We had amazing theaters. We had 6, 7, 8 full theaters with sets and stages and everything else, and all these wonderful performers played here. So Duke Ellington and Cap Calloway and Nat King Cole, all these famous performers played on U Street. You had to be dressed. I mean, it was serious. And then this restaurant opened up right next to these theaters, right between these theaters, in this like theater district. So think of like opening up in Times Square, but with an African American population and neighborhood back in 1958. And we've kind of gone through lots of ups and downs. It's been crazy. So we did really great, and it was wonderful, and lots of great business from 1958 to 1968. In 1968, Dr. King was assassinated, and a lot of the area was burned down. We
Yeah.
were one of the very few restaurants that were able that weren't burned down, but we were actually the only restaurant that was able to stay open past curfew, because people need a place to go and people need a place to eat. People
Yeah.
need a place to meet and have meetings and things. So that was a really interesting and scary part of our history. And then this area went really downhill after that, because a lot of the area was burned down and a lot of drugs came in the community. Before, when we opened, DC was segregated.
Mhm.
So this was really the black part of town, and blacks couldn't go downtown and walk in the front door of restaurants, or couldn't live in certain areas. After that period, with integration, a lot of blacks moved away to the suburbs and other areas now that they could, and this area really went downhill. A lot of drugs came in the community, so it was very dangerous and a very bad place in like the late 70s and the 80s, and then slowly it started coming back up. The mayor built or started working on the subway, so the metro station. We have a great metro station across the street, but that took them 5 years to build. They dug up the whole street, and that was devastating for us. Things just slowly started coming back. This big street was open, a couple businesses started coming, and more. Over the last 20 years, we see how it's just grown, and how DC was really becoming a wonderful and world-class city. And then COVID hits. So, you kind of go back and forth and roll with the punches.
Yeah, definitely. And my grandparents live out in Maryland. They live pretty close to Washington D.C. So I'm so excited next time I go see them to
Please do.
hopefully stop by the Chili Bowl and get some
I,
chili.
I hope so. You're always welcome here. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. And there's been so many famous people here, from Martin Luther King Jr. to everybody, Barack Obama. Can you talk about a few of those people that you think was like really cool to meet in the restaurant?
Well, the one thing I'm a little salty about is I never actually got to meet President Obama.
Hmm.
He's come here twice. He actually came about 3 months ago, believe it or not, as he was promoting his book, A Promised Land, and he was doing an interview, and they wanted to do the interview in the restaurant. So we had to close the restaurant that day. We're happy to do so. And because of COVID, they really had to limit the number of people that were here.
Yeah.
So my mom was here and both my sister-in-laws were here, but I wasn't able to come, so I didn't get a chance to meet him. And that's the second time, because he came when, it was really amazing in our history. He came 10 days before he was inaugurated for his first term. And the whole world was so excited, and everyone was watching his every move. And he gets off the plane, and he comes from Hawaii, and he's in Washington, and one of the first places he came was Ben's Chili Bowl for lunch. And it was the biggest thing really for us because it was just on every news, just so much news all across the world. There were cameras that whole time, and so many people were in town for the inauguration, such a special time. So that was incredible. Wow, there've been some movies filmed here. So
Really?
Russell Crowe shot a movie here called State of Play. Denzel Washington shot a movie here called The Pelican Brief. There have been some movies across, over this and that. We've had like Bruno Mars has been here.
Wow.
Kevin Hart did some filming here. Wow. So you name it. We've kind of had a little bit of everybody. It's been really fun.
Have you met like any of the people? I know you said that you were very disappointed that you couldn't meet Barack Obama, but did you meet anybody else?
Yeah. So I've met, I got to actually serve this cup of coffee to Denzel Washington. So you might see this part of my arm in the movie right here, which was fun. I got to meet Russell Crowe. Chris Rock is one of my favorite comedians. I got to meet him. Danny Glover, Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, just people just walk in the door like regular folks, and it's awesome to meet them.
That's so cool. And what are the biggest challenges and or the most challenging times you can remember about the restaurant? I know probably you're gonna say the one with where the business went downhill, but
Yeah. I mean, those are really the challenging times. So COVID has been extremely challenging for us.
yeah.
And like the Chili Bowl is just it's one of those places. Like I don't really think that we're special because I think every city has a place like this. Like I'm sure when you go to upstate New York or wherever you go, like there's that one place that everybody knows. It's been there forever. It's kind of it's going to be there, and you go and you bring people when they're out of town, and you go see it. So we're that place for Washington. And that feels really great. But COVID especially, I mean, with everything that we all know is going on, the one thing that was devastating to us is just killed tourism. So we got a lot of tourists, and so many people come to Washington, and we're known as that place that when you come to Washington, you have to come to Ben's, and just missing that tourism, not only for business, but in missing meeting people.
Yeah.
So every day is different for us because we get to meet people from all across the country, all around the world. We get to have conversations with them. So it's not just a place you come in and get food and leave or eat and leave and it's all quiet. Like we really try to get to know folks and meet folks and talk to people. So just having that interaction, and we haven't really been able to do that with just such few people coming and few people traveling. And I'm glad they're staying safe, but it's something that we miss.
Yeah. And what was the most rewarding thing about the restaurant?
I'd say two things. So one is it's working with my family. So like it literally like almost the whole family feels like I think they work here. Not my wife and not my son, but my two brothers and their wives and my mom, who's 87 now and still comes down to the restaurant. She's here today, believe it or not. She's over there working. So hopefully I can get her in here to meet you and say hello.
Hey.
Hi, Sienna.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
So glad to meet you. This is very special for me.
The chili was amazing. I tried it and I loved it.
You did? And not too spicy for you?
No, it was really good.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I've been making it for 62 years,
Wow.
I was 24 years old when I started making it. And now I'm 87. And how old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11.
Yes.
I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I love it too. It's so comfortable.
Very good. Oh, wow. So everything is going well?
Everything's going really good. Yeah.
I'm so glad. Well, you're just amazing. I've seen your work, and you're so amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, isn't that special?
So we're here. Mom is just talking to folks, and we got some special guests in the house, and she's just meeting and greeting like she always does.
Yes, I had some people all the way from Turkey.
Wow.
Yes, so now they're enjoying our homemade banana pudding. I bet you haven't had that yet.
I have not. I had the veggie chili. And then I had the meat chili, and then I had the turkey chili I tried, which was
All right. All right. Okay. Well, next time I think you're going to have to try the banana pudding.
I definitely should. It sounds
I
delicious.
like that too.
Hmm.
Well, good. Good. This is special.
All right, I had to introduce you to mom. You had to meet mom.
I had to, yes. I was so excited.
So that's rewarding, just doing something with your family. It's also rewarding having your own business because you can do whatever you want to do. It's yours. You don't
Hmm.
have to. You can make every choice yourself. It's not like a big corporation, and you're not entitled to anybody. You can do whatever you want. And the other thing I think is the community aspect of it is to be really able to serve the community, to be part of the community, to be able to give back, and just kind of be here for everyone that needs us.
Yeah, definitely. And what are the best and most challenging things about having like a family business? Because do you ever get like annoyed with your brothers or
Yes, I do. It's hard because we all want what's best for the business and we
yeah,
all want to make the right decision. But, we're talking about five, six adults, we all have our own opinions,
yeah,
whoever's around the table. And then we all kind of have an equal say, it's not like,
yeah,
okay, this person's the boss and they overrule the other brothers or family members. We all want to hear each other and we all want to hear our opinions. So
yeah,
sometimes it can be challenging to make decisions that everyone support it, everyone agree with it, because everyone's got different opinions. One thing that's really funny is like, let's just say in our local elections sometime or things like, it's not like we're all voting for the same person, so the business can't all support one person because
yeah,
we all have different friendships. Oh, I went to school with this person, or I knew this person from back in the day, or we all have our own lives, so it's hard to be a cohesive voice some of the time.
What is your specific role? What do you help the business do? Like, do you have like a specific role?
Well, the other funny thing in the family business is, and especially ours, is we really don't like we kind of in any small family business, everyone wears so many different hats.
Yeah.
And I was out there on the cooking food for customers earlier. I'm in the back cooking chili. So one thing we do is I do some of the finance and some of the banking and just making sure all the everything gets paid on time. So that kind of finance business part of it. But also I do right now we have a website. We have halfsmokes.com and we ship our half smokes, as you know, in our shirts like you
Yeah.
have and you've ordered. So we ship around the country. So I control that website and add new products and pictures and fulfill orders. So we all kind of do a little bit of everything. We all do some marketing. We all do go to the store and pick stuff up if we need to. We do meetings and partnerships and collaborations with other people and nonprofits.
Yeah.
We fixed food for the troops when they were here, guarding the Capitol, and dropped food off to people that were doing vaccinations for teachers. So we
Wow.
get to do really, really fun and meaningful things as well as just our everyday to day duties.
Do you think your son or the next generation of your family will continue the restaurant?
That's a great question. We should ask them. So my son is 15 now. My niece and nephew are 20. So we don't know. It's like for me, it was good to kind of have the choice. I think anytime you're forced into something, especially by your parents forcing you to do something,
Mhm.
you may be a little salty. You may do it for a while. You may really be against it. And I think it's important if you're talking about your career and your life, you have to choose it for yourself.
Yeah.
So there was a time when I had one foot in, one foot out. I ended up going to law school and did some other work. And, I was like, this is a really important place. It's a lot of hard work. I really think I can make a bigger difference here than I can doing law or doing something else. And,
Hmm.
this was always, I had passion for the restaurant. And, once you learn how important it is and it has to keep going, I made the choice to come back and I've been here for 25 years every day,
Wow.
or it feels like it at least.
And what is the Ben's Chili Bowl Foundation?
The Eventually Foundation is something we started 10 years ago. We've always given back. So, we even donated food to the Poor People's March on Washington, like way back in the day. We've always supported the community in some way. So we were looking for a more formal way to do it, a way to, where we could get support from the community, we could give back to the community in a more formal structure, I guess. We can have events and things, and we can do things now for the benefit of the foundation And once we, as we raise money for the foundation, we would send that money out. So really 100% of the money that comes in, we send out. There's no paid workforce. There's no paid executive director. It's all us and our board and all volunteers. So we really wanted to do that to kind of to cement and to be able to also, get money from companies and other places to be able to give back more to the community.
What are the things that you hope will happen with the restaurant?
Well, I really hope we get back to a place where we get all our tourism back and we get all these wonderful people that we're missing and that want to come to us. We're really hoping to grow the e-commerce business, the mail order business, and we're working every day to grow that because that really helps us here. So as businesses down here, this is the whole country that we can ship to. So that's a great avenue to work on. We're also trying to get into stores too. So our half smokes and our packages and chili. We're in a couple Costco stores now in the area, and we're trying to get into more Costco stores and other big stores across the country. Hopefully, we really wanted to continue and do right by my mom and dad, and fulfill this legacy that they started. They started this beautiful place for us that has had a lot of meaning to us and to so many people, and we just want to carry it on and give it the respect that it's due and make the right decisions. So that we keep the reputation up and what everyone thinks about it, and we just keep it going the best we can, and we feel like we've been so blessed with all these wonderful things like President Obama coming here when he did, or the movies that are shot here, or the wonderful people that like yourself, and you say, hey, I'd love to have Nizam on my show, and you're helping, you're putting us out there, and you're giving us a platform. So we've been blessed by so many people. And so many interviews and just individuals, and that we feel like you want to live it up to its full potential, and you want to be able to do more. And as we expand, we're able to employ more people. We're able to give back more, you know what I mean, and kind of be that source of pride as this little place, this this Black-owned restaurant in Washington that's been around, that has stayed the test of time and persevered, and is still family run, and is continues to improve.
Definitely. And what is your favorite thing on the menu?
Okay, easy. So for me, chili cheeseburger, chili cheese fries, chocolate shake, any day of the week, all day. And I wish I could get tired of the food. I just can't. Like I wish I could get tired of it and go a different route, but I could literally eat it every day if I could. And
So
I know it's not healthy to eat every day.
So do you eat your lunch, do you eat chili for your lunch usually every day?
Well, I try not to because I need to have some vegetables and some salad.
Yeah.
Today, wait, let me make sure my mom's not looking. Today I had a chili cheeseburger sub.
Wow.
And it was just delicious. I was a little hungry today, so I had that. It was great. It was just filled with chili and a little sloppy and just spicy and just delicious.
You make that for yourself?
I do. Well, we serve it here too,
Yeah.
so anyone can get it. But it's pretty great.
It sounds really good. And where can people get Ben's? Where can they go if when people watch this? I hope that they'll want to, because seriously, the chili's so good. So I hope that they'll want to go try some chili themselves. So where can they go get the chili if they want it?
So we're in Washington D.C. on U Street at 1213 U Street. We have a couple other locations around the area, but pretty much around the Washington D.C. area. But for everyone in the country, so we're benschilibowl.com, and you can go there, but you can also go straight to halfsmokes.com. And that's where our mail order is. That's where you can order our chili and our sausages and t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that. And we can ship it around the country. But I should tell you what a half smoke is, because I don't know if a lot of your people know what a half smoke is.
Sure.
So a half smoke is it's a quarter-pound smoked sausage. It's half beef and half pork, and it's smoked. And we put it in a hot dog bun to eat it like a hot dog. And generally we put mustard and onions and our chili sauce on top of it. And that's the thing that President Obama had and other presidents have had. And that's the thing we've been famous for all this time. But it's a very regional food to this kind of this area of the country. So most people don't know what a half smoke is, but they'll know what a smoked sausage is. And these half smokes are just delicious. They're great.
And I want to thank you so much for doing this. It's been so fun talking to you. I hope that I can meet you and your family in person once this gets all better, and go to visit my grandparents again, and would be so excited to meet you guys.
Oh, we really honored to have you, and it would be really a pleasure. So look forward to you coming to Ben's.
Same.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed being on your show, and I wish you all the best.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Nizam. The restaurant's history is so incredible and amazing, and the food is so good. You guys should definitely try some. It's worth it. Trust me. Well, see you next time on Search It Up with Sienna. Bye.